Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're buzzing into the utterly captivating world of bees, those tiny, tireless marvels of nature that do so much more than just whip up a jar of honey. I'm absolutely thrilled to share this deep dive with you because bees are, without a doubt, some of the most extraordinary creatures on Earth. With a story spanning millions of years, jaw-dropping abilities, and an impact that touches everything from our food to our ecosystems. So grab a cozy drink, maybe some honey-drizzled toast, and settle in for a long, wild ride as we explore everything about these incredible insects. Their name's origin, their scientific identity, how they craft that liquid gold we call honey, and so much more. Let's dive in. First, let's talk about the word bee itself. It comes from Old English bio, which traces back to Proto-Germanic roots like bio, meaning a buzzing or humming insect, a nod to that iconic sound their wings make, beating about 190 times per second, creating a hum that's pure music to nature lovers. Scientifically, bees belong to the genus Apis, with the most famous being Apis mellifera, the western honeybee. The name Apis is Latin for bee, and mellifera means honey-bearing, a fitting tribute to their honey-making talent. Bees aren't just one species, there are over 20,000 species worldwide. But we'll focus on honeybees today since they're the superstars of the bee world. These little wonders live in highly organized colonies, like miniature cities with populations that can reach 80,000 bees, all working together like a single superorganism. Each bee has a role. The queen, the heart of the hive, lays up to 2,500 eggs a day, ensuring the colony's survival. Worker bees, all female, are the ultimate multitaskers, handling everything from foraging for nectar and pollen to nursing larvae, cleaning the hive, building wax combs, and guarding the entrance. Drones, the males, have one job: mating with a queen from another colony, and they don't even have stingers, so they're all about that one big moment. This division of labor is so precise, it's like watching a symphony, with every bee in perfect harmony. One of the most fascinating things about bees is how they communicate. Picture this: the waggle dance, a figure-8 shimmy that forager bees perform to tell their sisters exactly where to find the best flowers. By waggling their bodies and vibrating their wings, they share the distance, direction, relative to the sun, and even the quality of the food source. It's so precise that other bees can fly up to 5 miles and pinpoint the exact flower patch, nature's own GPS. Bees are also navigation experts, using the sun's position, polarized light patterns, and even the Earth's magnetic field to find their way. Their brains, no bigger than a sesame seed, process complex information, recognize patterns, and even solve problems. Scientists have trained bees to roll a ball to a goal for a sugary reward, proving they can learn and adapt. And here's a wild one: they understand the concept of zero and can do basic math, like choosing a path with fewer symbols in experiments. For an insect, that's next-level smarts. Now, let's talk about their superpower: pollination. Bees are the backbone of global agriculture, pollinating about 1/3 of our food crops. Think apples, almonds, strawberries, cucumbers, and even coffee. As they visit flowers for nectar and pollen, they transfer pollen grains from the male parts of one flower to the female parts of another, helping plants reproduce. This isn't just good for the plants, it's vital for ecosystems, supporting countless species that rely on those plants for food or habitat. Without bees, our plates would be pretty empty, and biodiversity would suffer greatly. A single bee can visit up to 5,000 flowers in a day, carrying nearly their own weight in pollen or nectar, making them the ultimate workhorses. Speaking of nectar, let's dive into the magic of honey. How it's made is nothing short of alchemy. When a forager bee finds a flower, she sips nectar, a sugary liquid, using her long straw-like tongue called a proboscis. That nectar goes into her honey stomach, a special sac separate from her digestive system. Back at the hive, she regurgitates the nectar and passes it to a younger worker bee, who mixes it with enzymes like invertase, which breaks down complex sugars into simpler ones like glucose and fructose. This process, called trophallaxis, repeats as bees pass the nectar mouth to mouth, reducing its water content. Then, the bees deposit the nectar into wax cells, fanning their wings furiously, up to 11,400 beats per minute, to evaporate more water until it's about 18% moisture. Once it's thick and sticky, they cap the cell with a wax seal, And there you have it, honey. This whole process is so labor intensive that a single worker bee produces just a teaspoon of honey in her 6-week lifespan, making every drop a treasure. Honey isn't just sweet, it's a miracle food. Its low water content and high acidity create a hostile environment for bacteria, yeast, and molds, so it never spoils. Archaeologists have found 3,000-year-old honey in Egyptian tombs that's still edible. Honey also contains antioxidants, trace vitamins, and enzymes, and its antimicrobial properties have been used in traditional medicine for centuries. Bees store it as their winter food, packing combs with enough to survive months without foraging. The flavor depends on the flowers. Clover honey is mild, buckwheat is dark and robust, and orange blossom is citrusy. It's like a love letter from the landscape. Bees don't stop at honey. They're master architects, too. They produce beeswax from special glands on their abdomens, secreting tiny flakes they chew and mold into perfect hexagonal combs. Hexagons are nature's most efficient shape, using the least material for the most storage space, and engineers study bee combs for design inspiration. These combs hold honey, pollen, and larvae, and bees keep them spotless, removing debris like tiny janitors. The hive itself is a climate-controlled marvel, maintained at 92 to 95 degrees Fahrenheit. In summer, bees fan their wings or regurgitate water to cool it. In winter, they cluster around the queen, vibrating their muscles to generate heat. It's like a living thermostat. Bees have incredible senses, too. Their vision is tuned to ultraviolet light, letting them see patterns on flowers invisible to us, like glowing landing strips guiding them to nectar. Their sense of smell is so sharp they can detect floral scents or pheromones from miles away, and they use it to identify hive mates or spot intruders. Here's a fun fact. Bees can recognize human faces, distinguishing patterns in experiments, which is mind-blowing for an insect with such a tiny brain. They're also super strong, lifting nearly their own weight, and their wings, beating at 190 times per second, make them agile flyers despite their chunky bodies. Oh, and here's a quirky one. Bees can get a little tipsy on fermented nectar, wobbling back to the hive like they've had one too many. Bees are ancient, evolving over 100 million years ago, alongside flowering plants in a beautiful symbiotic relationship. Fossils show early bees were hairy, perfect for collecting pollen, and today's bees still have those fuzzy bodies with branched hairs that grab pollen like Velcro. Their stingers are modified ovipositors, so only females sting. A sting is a last resort, releasing venom with melatonin, which causes pain, but also has potential anti-inflammatory benefits in research. Sadly, the bee dies after stinging due to the barbed stinger tearing out, but it releases an alarm pheromone, rallying other bees to defend the hive. Talk about ultimate loyalty. Bees face tough challenges today: habitat loss, pesticides, parasites like varroa mites, and climate shifts threaten their populations. Supporting local beekeepers, planting pollinator-friendly flowers like lavender or sunflowers, and avoiding harsh chemicals can help. Another fun fact: a hive's guard bees check every returning bee's pheromone signature, like bouncers at a club, to keep out imposters. And did you know bees vote? When a colony needs a new home, scout bees explore options, perform waggle dances to pitch their finds, and the hive picks the best site through a kind of democratic consensus. It's like a tiny parliament. Honeybees also boost economies, with pollination services worth billions annually. Think $15 billion in the United States alone. Beekeeping, or apiculture, is an art form, with humans tending bees for thousands of years, from ancient Egypt's clay hives to modern wooden boxes. Beeswax is another gift, used in candles, cosmetics, and even surfboard wax, and propolis, a resin bees collect from trees, is a natural sealant they use to patch hives, with antimicrobial properties humans prize in health products. For one last mind blower, a bee's flight path covers about 90,000 miles in her lifetime, 3 times around the Earth, for just a teaspoon of honey. So, that's the epic tale of bees. What a journey, right? If you loved geeking out over these incredible creatures as much as I did putting this together, I'd really appreciate it if you'd hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, share it with your friends, and drop a comment below with your thoughts. Thanks for hanging out for this massive deep dive, and I'll catch you in the next one.